I just want to be real and just speak about that particular experience that I experienced when I was around my 30th birthday, which was 9 years ago, like I touched on. That experience for me, I would say the biggest hurdle of everything was being accepting of the concept and accepted of the concept and what I experienced, as far as knowing that there was no privacy, that as human beings we really don't have privacy. We are really coexisting with these other energies and these energetic signatures. And even if it's like, because we're all multidimensional beings and they are multidimensional beings as well, and we are coexisting to these parallel universes, these realms. But how do I describe it? You could be living in an apartment or a house, right? And because we're existing in a 3D realm, or rather because we've been trained to look at life through 3D perspective and eyes, we only see the 3D perspective, or things that are in the 3D. But if you were to, let's say, if you were to attain or tap into higher aspects of yourself, and let's say you're existing in a 3D form and you're in a 3D home, you will perceive not only the 3D aspects of that space that you're living in, but you will perceive things on a 4D or 5D and so on dimensional scale. And it's just depending upon what kind of programs you're carrying, if you can release these programs, if you can tap more into your own original source nature versus what you've been indoctrinated to hold in this 3D grid, right? So you could be in your home and existing on a 3D scale. Your house and your home is existing on a 3D scale, but at the same time, you can perceive beings that are also existing within your space, and your space may look different on a 4D or a 5D scale within that same space that you're in, within that, so it's just I'm trying to find a way to explain it, because these are things that I experienced and these are things that I had to see for myself. So it's like we are really coexisting with beings, and they don't teach us that, and we don't know that. And there's so much fear around what like the unknown, and what doesn't look like you, or what is not in human form, and these things of that nature. They program us to have so much fear and so much to dissociate, to not even like think on that level or in that conceptive type of space or whatever. But it's just is, I don't want to say that phrase, it is what it is, but that is how things operates. Okay, we are coexisting with other dimensional beings, and we are multi-dimensional beings, but many of us are not holding that concept in our grid, in our own energetic field, rather, not in the grid, but in our own energetic field. And that's because of the type of indoctrinations and things of that nature that they have placed, programmings that they have placed within us or instilled within us. But we are all multidimensional beings, even though we have 3D avatars. So these are not the things that I'm talking about. The concepts and the things that I'm trying to speak on are not things that are foreign concepts. I'm not like an only being, or I don't even like the concept chosen one. Because I just feel like it's so much mud on it, so much taint that just gets caught up in these particular phrases and words that we utilize. I will say that, yes, I am aware that the path that I chose, this is part of it. And yes, I chose to come here and, and go through the whole hard knock realm of everything, so that I could relay certain messages to trigger certain people that that are resonant with what I have to say. I realize my purpose in that, and I realize the purpose, with all of us. We all have that particular purpose to a certain degree, but what I'm saying is these are not foreign concepts or anything that I'm looking at my nose because I'm like, that's not a booger, that's just the lighting and nose hair, y'all. So but I'm looking at all these, I just like to look at it in a particular type of way. I don't feel like anyone is really truly a chosen one. Yes, there are beings, we come here, we already holding a certain frequency, or we holding a certain awareness, and we are supposed to trigger certain people to different degrees, or awaken certain people. So we do have like different roles and different things that we come here and need to fulfill. But what I'm saying is these concepts that I'm speaking on is not lost on anyone, because anyone has the ability to tap into the true nature of who they are. It's just really about whether or not you want to hold on to these programs that they place within this grid and that they try to place within our field. Okay, like even through the whole process of things that I went through, I would say after that period of me being up for 7 days and going through that experience around my 30th birthday, I had chose afterwards to dull myself. I chose that consciously, to dull myself, because it was so much that I had gone through, and it was like the experience of it was like I needed a break. And so I consciously picked up distractions here and there to try to place myself under again. Like I tried to, I don't even know if I started drinking alcohol again, because I think that was something I didn't want to suppress myself fully, but I knew enough to know that, I need to like put myself under a little bit, just because it was so much, and I was still holding too many fear programs in my body. Even though I got through that to the best of my ability, and I was a warrior in that situation, that whole spiritual warfare process, I still came out of it like, I still had a lot more to learn and go through after that experience. That experience was the catalyst for me learning so much more and experiencing so much more, and me having the foundation to evolve with the knowledge of so much more from my gifts. So that was just part of my process. So yes, I consciously chose to place myself under, and I knew I picked up a relationship that was a distraction, somebody that also had that it just gravitated towards me, somebody that also had abilities that they could see things like I could see, but this person was, just very toxic at the time, or they had entities that were attached to them that, so that was like everybody has things attached to them to a certain degree until we break free of it and we see it for what it is, so, but it was just that. I think I was drinking at certain points, just doing things to distract myself, television, just going back into the matrix a bit, because I'm not even one that delves into the matrix a lot as far as all the programmings, and people, they want to work the 9 to 5 and watch TV, and you know what I'm saying, and the relationships that we pick up, like all of that is energetic sacrifice to a degree. If it's not aligned, if it's not coming from an aligned place, if you're not merging with a being or picking up a relationship with a being that, y'all on the same wavelength, or y'all creating something, or, like something that is fulfilling to your soul and your evolution. To me, I just never really saw the point in that. So I have been through experiences where, yes, I've, that particular experience where I picked up a relationship and I chose to like place myself back under for the time being, which didn't last long, probably a couple of months before I got tired of that, and then got myself together and went back into like solitude and really started facing everything over again. So which I want to tell people about the next process of everything. Not the next process, because I kept going through things even after that experience. But understand, I'm 39 now, and back then when this happened, I was like around 30, turning 30. And so there's a process that happened to me about a couple months ago, where I lost everything. I lost my job. I let it go as well. I lost it, but I did let it go. I lost my mother. I peeled back the matrix entirely, and I had these beings come after me for 2 to 3 months straight, every day. I thought that was going to be my whole life forever. I had got to a place where I was suicidal, and not because I couldn't handle any of it, but it was just that I'm like, if this is what the fuck my life is going to be, just because of my gifts, like, then what the fuck am I sticking around for? Like, that was my logic at the time, Lost my belongings. I lost my place, my home. I lost so much, was stripped away from me. Everything was stripped away from me. Lost my mother through the process. Couldn't even grieve like I wanted to because I was being attacked by the unseen for, like I said, 2 to 3 months. So I had to have like a certain state about myself in order to get through it all. Yes, I did get to a place where I almost committed suicide. But to be honest, I'm not going to say I almost committed it because I didn't plan it out or anything. But I thought about it. I was thinking about it very heavy. I was. And I will admit that, because the type of stuff that I went through, like I said, was insane. And the way that they attacked me and they bombarded me. And for me, I just felt it was very unjust because I'm like, all I've ever wanted was to be me. Just be 100% me, be authentic, be true to myself, be true to my calling, and master myself in this life. Now, I get it that I'm fucking up your shit by me choosing to be a being that's on, a being that's awake, but I don't know any other life. You know what I'm saying? I don't know any other life besides being who I am. So for me, it was like, I felt like it was very unjust. Like, I didn't know how to take it. But to be honest, that's why I said this journey is not for the faint-hearted. Just to be real, it's not for the faint-hearted. To choose to be on, or to choose to be awake, and I mean awake fully, like to really like peel back all the layers and see beyond the veil, it is asking for a lot. And I really feel like it's only for those that are, like, you're very devoted. You're very devoted to this path. You're very devoted to truth. You're very devoted to disillusioning yourself. You're very devoted to embodying who you are in totality. That being said, that's not where they're at, and that's fine. And I've had to come to terms with that, even like with family members, because even that, like, my eyes was open to a lot of stuff. I had people do me like extremely dirty. And do I blame anybody at the end of the day? No, because I know that they were being used and they were being manipulated against me. Even my finances was attacked because, mimicry, or these parasitic entities, as I was talking about, they govern the system. So because I had chose that, I wanted to be awake, they did so many things to try to put me back to sleep. They put me through so many different assimilation tests, so much stuff. I'm going to get into all the shit they did to me, okay? We're going to talk about it. But I went through a whole process of a lot of stuff, and each time I just was not allowing, them to take me over. I wasn't allowing myself to, like I said, this is all I know. Like I said, I want to master myself in this life. It's very important to me to master myself and to be who I am 100% authentically. And I'm sorry, I can't live in illusion. I don't know how to do it. I'm not programmed to live in an illusion. I'm not. I always break free of the illusions. And because of that, I'm an anomaly, and I've been a hindrance. And that's fine, you know, but I will continue to be who I am to the grave, and that's just what it's going to be. But yeah, so there's a lot of things I want to get into that I want to tell people, and I will. And in my videos, I feel like I'm always jumping around, but I feel like I am touching on things that are important that people need to hear as well. But I have been going through a process lately where I'm doing more writing things down, even through working on my book, writing things down in different notes, and then I'm going to start tackling those particular notes when I make videos now, so that I can feel like I'm staying on topic, because I really do feel like I be jumping around a bit, and I don't want to confuse anybody or just have, you know, I just don't want to confuse anybody. But I'll keep dropping videos, and my story is coming. My breakdown of everything is coming. Understand that also too, they have been trying to stop me from posting videos. If my account winds up being erased one day, just know, you know, that's one of the processes of it. But I've also been posting things on my YouTube page as well, and I want to try to get on Facebook as well. I've never been social media savvy. I've never been somebody that really liked social media that much, but I realize the benefits that it does have now, and I'm being called to utilize it, and that's what I'm doing. So I also have, like I said, a YouTube page, and I'll be posting my things there, and I have an Instagram page too, 2 of them. And another thing is, I make a lot of art or whatever. I create a lot of art, paintings, and so I have like a page for that as well. And a lot of my art also too is soul art, or channeled art, or symbolic art. I like to create from symbolism or channelings and things of that nature. So I'll be sharing that more as well, and how people can access that or view that, or if you want to buy a piece of art of mine or something like that, you know, just reach out to me and let me know. But it's so much more that I have to share with you guys, and so much more that I want to touch on. And I'm looking at the time, so next video, and I will try to be more tactful as far as not jumping around in the conversation. But yes.